What do we got, Tom? We're talking about anime, aren't we?
And anime.
Anime.
Oh,
Oh, it's anime time.
I don't even know. All right.
Yeah. Is that racist? Are we being racist right now?
What? No, of course not. Man.
Okay. Maybe I should avoid doing that, though. I don't know. People just do it, and I repeat what they're doing, and it may or may not be offensive to people. I think it may be offensive to people. I'm gonna stop doing that. Ooh.
Oh. All right. This is the last time I'm doing it.
All right.
Oh.
Got it all in my system. All right. So, mission from last episode was to watch some animes. Tom, you fell off on your end of the bargain, but in your defense, you've been watching more Jojo Bizarre Adventure. Yeah. And I've gotten through the first act because they separated into acts. I'm on like the first or second episode of the second act right now, and I gotta tell you, this stuff is ridiculous.
Dude, their hormone breathing technique is crazy.
Yeah, that really developed pretty quickly. He was just like, "All right, here's how you do it." Boom! All of a sudden, he's a freaking professional at it. Like this, the monk spent like his entire life dedicating himself to making himself good at hormone, and freaking Jojo just picks it up like the snap of a finger.
Yeah, and then all the names like Robert E.O. Speedwagon.
Oh yeah.
And I forget the guy's name. Something. Yeah, Master Tom Petty.
They didn't even try with that one.
They did not. No, there's a. Oh my God, you're coming up to it, but there's this guy's name is ECDC.
Oh yeah, ECDC. This is what I live for.
That's crazy. But then that guy's Zeppeli guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like that guy.
When he karate chops that frog and breaks the rock underneath the frog but doesn't harm the frog.
Uh-huh.
That was crazy.
I mean, that's like the essence of hormone. Like it needs to resonate through something, and he chose the frog. Frog doesn't
right.
I mean, we're not talking about a karate chop here where he's just like, judo chop. We're talking about freaking blazing lights in the background, intense music coming down, shots, touching the frog, and just like bloop.
There's like lightning bolts coming off of his hand. Oh.
And that's the thing. Once he got really good at hormone, talking about JoJo, like he started getting that aura that that you see in these action animes, kind of like a going Super Saiyan type of thing.
Right.
Which I thought was pretty corny. I mean, I find the show pretty corny in general, but
they do so many poses too. They're always posing.
Oh yeah, these guys are such posers.
Such posers. I love it though. It's fantastic.
The poser child of posing. All right, so highlights for me. I really like the way they opened it, where like I could say I don't like the style that they started off with the old English, I'm a rich kid, blah 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 type of stuff.
Yeah.
Overall, I liked that introduction where he started off as a kid and where he met Dio, the main antagonist of the show. And the evolution into like seeing the first mask. Overall, I liked that whole experience. I didn't like the way they did it, but I liked the story behind it. And then, okay, so fast forward to fighting one of the first zombies that Dio creates to like one of the first main antagonists. It's these two zombies that fought in some old wars, and like one is very brutish and one's very respectful. So he's fighting the respectful one, and just like mid-battle, he realizes that like some of the hormone he put into his body was creating him more human-like, and he was affecting positively to the human-like nature. So he goes to like cut off his head, the antagonist, and Jojo doesn't fight back anymore. And the guy's just like, whoa. You were just going to let me kill you? Like, you have that much respect for me now that I'm slowly becoming less under Dio's power? And they have a total bro moment. And at the end, like, with the blow that Jojo put into the guy, he did end up dying, but he gives him this sword called Luck. With his last dying moments, he uses his blood to put a P on the end of the luck and just calls it Pluck. And that's it. He gets a sword named Pluck. That's the origin story of it. And it's just so ridiculous. That whole scene where, like, intense action and all of a sudden they're total bros, and then he gives him a sword and he writes in blood glue. Oh, man. That was biggest highlight of the show so far for me, was the introduction of Pluck. I really liked that moment.
I liked it when they're underwater, and he's like, "What am I gonna do?" And he's like, "He's gonna have to come up for air." And he's like, "What? He's going down?" And he's like, he lifts up a rock. He's like, "This used to be a mining town. There's got to be trapped air under these rocks." And then he gets air. I'm like, what?
Yeah, he really that was kind of like pulling strings out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, duh, I'm about to drown, but I realize that this is a mining town, so there might be air under these rocks. Swims to the bottom, lifts up the rock, gets his hormone back, kicks some total baddie butt. I think that was around the same area, too. Okay, and then my second most memorable moment was in the first episode of the second act. He buys a Coca-Cola after being, like, enticed by this salesman. And he's going into this dark alley, finds a person has a gun, he's gonna shoot him, and, like, this is the introduction to Joseph's...
Joseph, yeah. Yes.
Introduction to his hormone abilities. It's just like, before you even pull that trigger, I will have already snapped your finger. Okay, and they go slow motion, he's about to pull the trigger, and then Joseph, through the Coca-Cola, channels his hormone to shoot the Coke cap off, flies through the air, snaps his finger off, and then as that's happening, he just freaking bottoms up the bottle and chugs it all down in one gulp. Oh, man. Just the synchronicity, the ridiculous antics, like, oh, man.
Joseph Joestar is a champ. He is ridiculous.
Grade A certified B.A.
Grade A. Dude, that whole chapter,
B.A.
Yep. I don't want to spoil anything for you, but I will tell you that Nazis are involved, and it gets crazy. It gets absolutely nuts, and I love it.
It gets bizarre?
Bizarre? Oh. I did not see that coming.
Yeah. Sounds like a bizarre adventure. Specific to a single person who's reoccurring. His name is Jojo.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. I love that show. They're done with part 3, and part 4 is like gradually coming out. But are you watching it dubbed or subbed?
I'm watching the dubbed version.
The dubbed version?
I'm not all about the subs.
I'm
all not about that sub, no dubbing. Whatever. Keep going.
That I'm aware of, they have all of part 1 and part 2 dubbed, and a little bit of part 3 dubbed. So,
and let me just say something about this while I'm thinking about it. This is way different from the other JoJo's Bizarre Adventure from I think it was early 2000s or 90s that I was watching at first when you told me about this.
Yeah.
That show was a lot, A, more different in story, and B, worse. Totally worse. I'm not even gonna... It has none of the appeal of this new stuff.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, no, it's, I really enjoyed part 2, the part that you're coming on right now.
Mm-hmm.
That was probably my favorite so far. Part 3 is still good. Part 3 is better than part 1, but I still like Joseph Joestar. He was the shit. He's a cocky little motherfucker too. Like he's got. Like,
I feel like I'm not gonna like that about him, but
you will though.
Maybe
you will. But some of the things he says, like he likes to predict what his enemies are gonna say. He's like, and now you'll say, this, and then it'll be like, and now you'll say, how did you get from here to there so quick? And then they actually say it. It's like,
sounds ridiculous.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Crazy.
Do we want to talk about any other animes, or we probably already took all our time with JoJo, right?
We probably, yeah, I think we should be done with anime. I haven't watched any new anime anyway, so.
Just been sucked into this one singular. I mean, that's what I do too. I freaking binge watch through these ones. I don't really watch multiple animes at the same time. At some point, I was watching like One Piece while watching other animes just to give myself a break because you kind of can't binge watch One Piece. It's just too repetitive.
This is just never, and it never ends either.
Yeah, it never ends. A little bit.
All right. Well, that's.
Oh yeah, we ran out of topics.
That's all, folks.